Hello, guys. Today I will play Minecraft and read stories from Reddit for you. We may never see each other again, so subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the next videos that will quickly put you to sleep. Enjoy listening, and good night. First question. What are some good, weird questions to ask someone to get to know them better? First Redditor replies, a guy in my class, who I'd not spoken to before but had seen around a bit, sent me a Facebook message saying, would you rather have bionic arms or bionic legs? I typed a super long reply, ultimately giving reasons for both, and sent him a would you rather question too. This went on for a while. Messages got longer and longer, more and more personal, till we went out on a date. That was a little over 6 years ago. He's now my husband, and we have 2 children. Not a bad conversation starter. Second Redditor replies, when I was managing and interviewing people for a higher-end pizza restaurant, we had to ask every person, if you were a pizza topping, what would you be and why? Third Redditor replies, I like to ask, what's your favorite smell? You learn a lot about a person. So, I guess I should say my favorite smells are the smell after a fresh blanket of snow that has fallen, the smell of my grandpa's workshop, which was a mixture of farm and fuel, and lastly, the smell of the beach, whether it be the lake or ocean. Second, for all you asking how it can tell a lot about a person, if you looks at same my favorite smells, you can guess that I am from a place or have been to one that gets cold and had farmland, which I have. I'm from northern Illinois, so it's sometimes quite easy to connect a smell to a person's life. Fourth Redditor replies, you come across an old lady and baby drowning in a pool. You can only save one. Who do you save and why? Had someone ask me this at a semi-professional event as an icebreaker, haha. Much better than the usual questions. It would be physically easier to save the baby, but the baby is less likely to be able to negotiate a payment for rescue services.
Second question. What is your secret that you can't tell anyone because it will probably ruin your life? First Redditor replies, I don't give my best at work because I don't care anymore. I used to give them 100%, and nobody noticed, and only focused on the small mistakes I made. Now I give 40 to 50%, and my manager keeps bugging me why my performance has dropped compared to before. I simply don't care. The salary is fine compared to the country standard, but in this field of work is on the lower end of the chart. I don't care. I'm overworked and underpaid. By industry standard, not countrywide standard. Second Redditor replies, I left my job at an electronics manufacturing company in 2002, but they continued paying me my full salary, including all incremental raises and annual bonus, until they offered me a very generous redundancy package in 2022 due to departmental restructuring, including an $85,000 lump sum contribution to my pension fund. I even got the quarterly magazine and annual Christmas card sent to me. In March of this year, 2023, I got an invite to the 75th anniversary of the company, went along, had a great time at the free bar, and nobody realized I hadn't worked there for over 20 years. You've got to love a good administrative error. Maybe edit your post and remove the dates and info, bro. Don't want anyone finding out. Sounds like the story you tell everyone is technically the truth. Third Redditor replies, I have a bad back, and from time to time, it goes into a full spasm. One day I was getting out of bed, and as my foot hit the floor, I went into a full spasm. I have no idea how, but a perfectly formed turd fell out the leg of my shorts and landed on the floor. Due to my spasm, I fell and landed right in the poop. The commotion woke up my GF at the time, and she ran over to check on me. I blamed the dog. I've never actually told anyone this before. Oh no, babe, come here. Someone shit in my pants. Fourth Redditor replies, the story everyone knows is my boyfriend and I voluntarily left our place of work because our relationship went against policy, and we valued our relationship more than our crappy jobs. The truth is, we got caught fucking in my car before work, and left in order to avoid repercussions. Sounds like the story you tell everyone is technically the truth. Fifth Redditor replies, I hid the extent of my alcoholism from everyone since I was 15. I'm now 35 and 8 weeks sober. No one knows I'm sober now, as they've never known I had an alcohol issue. This is me. I'm 27 and 95 days sober, and no one in my life knows the extent of the drinking I did prior to getting pregnant in March. I plan to stay sober for my son when he is born and never go back to the place of hiding my alcoholism. Congratulations on 2 months sober. That's huge and incredible.
Third question for today. What's the craziest story you've ever seen on Reddit? First Redditor replies, the guy who thought someone was writing him notes for it to be he had carbon monoxide poisoning. The crazy thing is that it was posted on a legal advice subreddit. The lawyer responding figured out it could be carbon monoxide poisoning and saved the poster's life. Second Redditor replies, there's this one about a man who admitted that he and his wife nearly killed their son. Their kid was really evil. He would do all sorts of nasty things, poop and throw it all over the house, destroy things around the house, and a lot of other disgusting stuff. But no matter how many doctors and therapists the parents saw, nothing changed. They soon had a daughter, and one day they caught the kid trying to harm their infant sister. The mom, who was a boxer, finally lost it and started to punch the kid so hard that he was almost dead. They then left out first aid and food, everything, and went to the basement and hid there. For a while, they could hear the kid cry and scream and everything upstairs, but then one day it stopped, and they went upstairs, and the kid had left, and they never saw him again for like 50 years. Yeah, that shit was fake AF. My wife, who does MMA, beat him up? Yeah, no.
Fourth question. What's a fact that could save your life? First Redditor replies, you should still attempt to dial 911 in an emergency even if you have no bars of signal. There are protocols that allow your phone to bounce signals off any tower available, including military/first responder ones and towers not on your network in the event that you attempt to call 911. SAR Tech here can confirm this. And I just want to add, please ignore that viral post about changing your voicemail. Spoiler, you can't, and now you've wasted your battery when you could have called 911. Second Redditor replies, if you fall through the ice, the dark spot is the way out. Edit, the sun reflects off the ice surface. The spot you entered has no ice or reflection, so will be dark, opposite what we would naturally think. Also, if you fall through the ice, make sure you grab the ice behind you to crawl back out, not in front of you. The ice behind you was obviously strong enough to hold you up until that point. My grandpa always tells me this, and his brother had unfortunately drowned this exact way when he was 6. Third Redditor replies, if you get lost in the wilderness, the best thing to do is to stay calm and stay put. Unless there is an immediate threat to your safety in the area, just sit down and wait for someone to come find you. Many people die or get seriously injured because they keep moving and search and rescue can't catch up to them. Fourth Redditor replies, if you can't find your kid in your house, don't search common places they would be. Search the most deadly places: pools, freezes, washing machines, and dryers. Seconds count, and if they are hiding under the table for an extra minute, who cares? Also, remember the golden rule for pool parties/family gatherings with kids. If everyone is watching the kids, no one is watching them. You need to specifically put someone on babysitting duty. You can switch people during the event, but it needs to be a specific person at all times. Fourth question. What's a fact that could save your life? First Redditor replies, You should still attempt to dial 911 in an emergency even if you have no bars of signal. There are protocols that allow your phone to bounce signals off any tower available, including military/first responder ones and towers not on your network in the event that you attempt to call 911. SAR Tech here can confirm this. And I just want to add, please ignore that viral post about changing your voicemail. Spoiler, you can't, and now you've wasted your battery when you could have called 911. Second Redditor replies, if you fall through the ice, the dark spot is the way out. Edit, the sun reflects off the ice surface. The spot you entered has no ice or reflection, so will be dark, opposite what we would naturally think. Also, if you fall through the ice, make sure you grab the ice behind you to crawl back out, not in front of you. The ice behind you was obviously strong enough to hold you up until that point. My grandpa always tells me this, and his brother had unfortunately drowned this exact way when he was 6. Third Redditor replies, if you get lost in the wilderness, the best thing to do is to stay calm and stay put. Unless there is an immediate threat to your safety in the area, just sit down and wait for someone to come find you. Many people die or get seriously injured because they keep moving and search and rescue can't catch up to them. Fourth Redditor replies, if you can't find your kid in your house, don't search common places they would be. Search the most deadly places: pools, freezers, washing machines, and dryers. Seconds count, and if they are hiding under the table for an extra minute, who cares? Also, remember the golden rule for pool parties/family gatherings with kids. If everyone is watching the kids, no one is watching them. You need to specifically put someone on babysitting duty. You can switch people during the event, but it needs to be a specific person at all times. Fifth Redditor replies, if you are on a sidewalk getting robbed, someone is fucking with you, go into the street. Cars will just drive by usually, even if they see someone in trouble. If you're in the street, you have a very small risk of being run over and a much higher likelihood of the attacker simply not following you into the street or someone actually going to help you. Fifth question. People who have the guts to ask their crush out, what happened afterwards? First Redditor replies, found out she liked me before she started dating her new boyfriend. Second Redditor replies, I told her I loved her on the first date. She said, what? I said it again in case she didn't bloody hear it the first time. A little later, we're still together. So far, it's the best decision I've ever made. Third Redditor replies, we were hanging out at our typical spot when I told her that I'd had a big crush on her for the past year and I'd really like it if she gave me a shot. Just one date. She said, nah, I don't see you like that. And then it was, pretty fucking weird. She tried changing the subject, but I was a million miles away by that point. I made up a reason to take off, and she graciously didn't call me out for it being bullshit. I avoided her over the next few weeks. For some reason or another, her rejection humiliated me, even though no one else knew about it. If she texted to see if I wanted to hang out, I wouldn't respond, or I'd lie and say I was doing something. One night, there was a knock on the door of my apartment. It was her. I knew she'd come around. I opened the door, and she came in and sat down on my couch and said this, and I'm paraphrasing. I just don't like you in a romantic way. I can't help it. I'm just not attracted to you. I'm sorry. That being said, I miss you. You're my best friend, and I spend pretty much all my free time with you. So, if you want to go on a date with me, I'll do that for you. And I realized how much my friendship meant to her, and how shitty and cowardly I'd been to avoid her after she rejected me. I told her that I was sorry, and if she could forgive me and see her way past this, I'd really like to resume our friendship. It wasn't easy, but I was able to find the maturity to conquer those feelings. We picked up where we left off, minus a little baggage. A few years ago, a lifelong friend from back home came to visit me. I introduced him to my friends here, and, well, she found her spark. They've been happily married now for 2 years, and I can only hope that their son and my daughter can enjoy the same level of friendship as her and I do. Fourth Redditor replies, "We went out on a date and I learned she was not the one for me after all. But it was a good lesson, and had I not asked her out, I just agonized over what might have been." Well, I hope you've already fallen asleep. Thank you all for watching, dear friends. Subscribe to this channel so as not to miss the next interesting stories while playing Minecraft. See you soon!